So I'm going to summarize what we've kind of gone over here. Here are some real costly mistakes to avoid that a lot of people make. Number one, avoid getting huge injectors or a programmer without buying either a single turbo that will handle them or a set of compounds to handle the fuel you're putting in. It's dangerous on your motor. As well as get a pyrometer placed in the rear cylinders. If you have one of our manifolds, you don't need to do that. Or you could, you could seriously damage your engine if you don't read the correct exhaust temps, or if you're adding the fuel, get something that's going to a turbo, or better, get a compound kit that's going to handle the fuel you have. Don't just put injectors in and think, oh, I'll get the turbo, I'll handle that later. That's where engine damage occurs. And the Cummins, to rebuild one of those, between what damage you do to it, it's between like $5,000 and $15,000. Remember, cold air intake, aftermarket exhaust system, aftermarket intercoolers are rarely going to control your exhaust temps good enough to run large injectors or a programmer without causing extremely high EGTs. Combined, they're going to cost you about the same amount you would spend on one of our compound kits. So if you're wanting an air intake, I'm not saying a good air filter won't help you, but every stock air intake is a cold air intake. They bring air from the outside. Just get a free flow air filter and put in there. It'll save you hundreds of dollars just on that alone, and then you don't need to. I mean, if that's what you're looking for is some cheap little way to add a little bit, just get an air filter. Don't worry about the whole air intake. Okay, I'm going to offer a deal here on our compound. So can we post that? So these are smoking deals, guys. You're not going to get these anywhere else. So if you're going to buy a single turbo, get a turbo that matches the fuel you have. If the turbo you buy is so large it won't spool up, you need a set of compounds. There's just no way around that fact. As I've shown here, you're up against the laws of physics with a single turbo and too much horsepower or too much fuel in a Cummins. You can't overcome that fact. In our experience, a 5.9 Cummins at about 450 rear wheel horsepower is about as high as you can go with a single turbo and not have EGT problems. Now, if you're at higher altitude or lower altitude, or you have other things like camshafts or headwork or that kind of stuff, that might be a slightly different number, but it's a general rule of thumb to go by. So if you're building a truck, the manufacturer, the programmers or injectors can tell you how much horsepower to expect with their product. The very first thing you need to consider is, based on my horsepower, how much air do I need so that my truck will run the way I want it to and I don't melt the engine. If you'll give us a phone call and tell us about your truck, we'll guide you to the very best set of turbos or compound turbos that you need in order to handle the fuel you have and get the best performance you're looking for. And I promise, guys, we'll really help you out. Give us a call. Hey, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. It's hopefully been really informative to you. I know it might have been a little long, but we've posted some great deals. I hope we've given you some good information that you can use. I'm just going to real quick walk you through a few of our different compound kits. We've already shown, I believe, the stalker over the S475 kit. This uses the stock kit. This is for a common rail. This is our brand new stalker kit for the second gen trucks that uses the HX35 turbo or any of the stalker turbos. And then right here we've got our Fummins turbo kit. This is an exciting kit because we actually cast our own compressor housing for the S400, and that makes a huge difference on clearance. We're able to see how thin this thing is right here, so it fits and clears the air box typically that gets in the way on other compound kits on Fummins. It's the only compound kit that we know of that fits the Fummins conversions. So the Cummins and the Ford. Now real quick, we've had some people ask from time to time about our silicone charge pipes. Now this, as we demonstrated earlier, this is a low pressure on the low pressure side, but this is actually pressure tested to 200 PSI. It's got a 5-ply setup here, and what it is it's got a proprietary blend in the fiber. It's a Nomex Kevlar blend in the fiber. It is extremely strong. Once you use it, you'll never go back to a steel tubing. It's so flexible and easy to deal with. It pops right on if things aren't aligned. It just is really easy to use. So right here we've got our 4th gen brand new 4th gen and or 6.7 Cummins twin kit. We've just released it. It keeps all the emissions intact. It looks OEM. It looks like it's factory. And here's a set of triples, and yes, it is used. This was the very first triple kit we put on a truck to prototype, and really exciting to be able to introduce this a couple years ago when we did. So, hey, thank you so much for being here. If you'll stay online, we're going to keep posting these deals for a little bit, and you have to buy those today to get those deals. The deals are going to be only available right here. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.